On this Epiphany, I was thinking of that old Christmas carol that contains the line, "The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight." And I thought about my hopes and fears and expectations for 2022. Here they are. Firstly, this new year could furnish us with unexpected surprises in Rome. We could see another consistory where new cardinals are created before the year is out. Pope Francis has already chosen 70 cardinals, or 58% of those eligible to vote for the next pope. But in this new year, some of Francis' closest collaborators, cardinal collaborators, including Oscar Rodriguez Maradiaga, Gianfranco Ravasi, and 8 others, will turn 80, making them ineligible to vote in the next conclave. The Pope could name 10 or more cardinals. It's really up to him. The timing of this could be critical, since for months I've been hearing whispers, mostly among churchmen, of a possible conclave in this new year. The Pope did just survive major colon surgery. He is 85, and there's a lot of talk about who might succeed him. We shall see. But more immediately, the Synod on Synodality will wrap its local diocesan listening sessions this fall. At that time, the findings of these sessions will start rolling in. Now, given that those most interested in this synodal approach are progressives, I expect the recommendations to be fairly radical and not at all surprising. I mean, have you attended a listening session or even heard about one? Me neither. There will no doubt be a tussle over whether what certain dioceses submit to the Synod comports with church teaching and what it all means. If the last few synods are any indication, you can expect much disagreement and probably a few unanswered dubia before it's over. There is also some lingering unfinished business from 2021 that will no doubt bubble up in this new year. The scandalous financial trial underway at the Vatican will drag on in 2022. Now, my sources expect only partial transparency when this is all over, and even less justice. But we will be watching. The Pope's restrictions on the traditional Latin Mass have roiled both faithful and certain bishops. This is a quiet battle that I think is going to rage throughout this new year as progressives rat out traditionalists, and Rome will either accompany the traditional faithful or embrace the throwaway culture and simply toss them aside. The Vatican will also face a hard choice and perhaps a reckoning vis-a-vis China this year. The secret deal the Vatican signed with the murderous Chinese regime has only made life worse for the faithful in mainland China. Now, President Xi is coming for the sacraments, as we'll talk about in our next segment, and he's clamping down on the Hong Kong diocese. The Pope made no mention of China in his annual message to the city and the world, which is a tragedy, and has raised not a word of protest against the brutal tactics of that regime. As the suffering of Catholics in China intensify and the Olympics turn a spotlight on the country, the Vatican's silence will no longer be tolerable. Maybe if the Chinese started saying the old Latin Mass, they'd get a reaction. And here in the United States, President Joe Biden, a professed Catholic, intends to codify abortion on demand into law, in flagrant violation of church teaching. He's also trying to revive the Obamacare contraceptive mandate. All of this will bedevil the bishops and the church in 2022. Some of the U.S. bishops will no doubt continue to speak out, but Rome has adopted the same don't ask, don't tell strategy it's used in China. Let's hope it has better results here. Whatever happens in 2022, the church is definitely going to transform before our eyes. They say personnel is policy. Well, a number of major archdioceses and Vatican offices are about to see new leadership, likely within this calendar year. There are about 15 cardinals who will reach retirement age in 2022 or already beyond it. Among them, the Archbishop of Washington, Wilton Gregory, the Archbishop of Sri Lanka, Malcolm Ranjith, the Archbishop of Westminster, Vincent Nichols, Cardinal Sean O'Malley of Boston, who will be 78, the Archbishop of Vienna, Christoph Schonborn, Vatican Cardinals, Kevin Farrell at the Dicastery for Laity, Family, and Life, and Mark Willett at the Congregation for Bishops, all hit retirement age this year. In the U.S. alone, 19 bishops will either be over 75 or will reach that milestone, including Archbishop Thomas Olmsted in Phoenix. The Pope will have some major decisions to make regarding these dioceses and Vatican officers, but no matter what he decides, these men are getting no younger, and eventually they will have to be replaced, and that will clearly change the face and the direction of the Church globally. But as we face all these challenges and conflicts and fears ahead, the end of that famous Christmas hymn is instructive. "O come to us, abide in us, our Lord Emmanuel." We'll certainly need his help in 2022.